You're all very welcome. Queeveen, who's our Dáil leader and spokesperson for health, Pierce Doherty, finance spokesperson, Marina McDonald, Sinn Féin vice president, Lás Ógtaráin, agus Sinn Féin. And Sinn Féin will be fighting 3 elections before the summer. This one, and Maurice Quinlivan is our campaign director. We have 2 elections in the north, actually on the day that marks the anniversary of Bobby Sands' death. There were government elections and assembly elections. And for what it's worth, we fought another election just last May, which reaffirmed our position as the largest political party in the 6 counties. And we continue to work there of realigning politics, of reaching out to our unionist neighbours, of developing and implementing the Good Friday Agreement. We're standing 41 candidates across 38 Dáil counter, 41 across 38 constituencies. And this election just gives citizens a huge opportunity to kickstart the beginning of a realignment of politics in this state and the beginning of new politics. Now the battleground, very, very clearly, is the economy. But the election is also about who we are as a people, what we are, what our core values are. It's about political choices. The economy is in crisis because of political choices being made by a deeply corrupt, and I couldn't stress this enough, a deeply corrupt political elite operating within a flawed political system. And the political choices that they made were bad political choices. They weren't, from their perspective, wrong political choices, except they've been caught out. They were political choices which reflected the golden circles and which favoured the elites. In other words, which reflected the interests of those whom the political system and the political elites favour. Sinn Féin wants to change that. There's a lot of talk from the other parties about reform. Let's remind ourselves they have had decades to bring about reform, to change themselves, to change the system. They're very, very long on rhetoric and very, very short on action. Every single vote in this election will count. And Sinn Féin wants every vote that we can get. Not for the glory of it, not because we're careerist, not because we're self-serving, but because every TD elected for Sinn Féin means a stronger voice for citizens, for reform, for working families, for the unemployed, for the self-employed, and for those struggling to make ends meet. Sinn Féin believes in a real republic. We're asking voters to make a stand. Very simple, very passive, very peaceful, very democratic way of making a stand. We believe that there is a better way. We believe, as an All-Ireland party, that we can, with others, build that better way. So we're seeking a mandate for the regeneration of core Republican values and a platform, and we have 5 main planks on our platform. A platform for the root and branch reform of our political, economic and social systems, and the emancipation of the people of this island, particularly at this time, the emancipation of those people in this state who are under the curse of all of those who have created this awful crisis. We're different from the other parties, and I'm pleased that we're different from the other parties, not just as a matter of political ideology or political stance, but because we want to rebuild the economy by reforming the tax system, by ending privilege. Remember that. This is a republic which has privilege. We want to end that privilege. We want to cut waste, we want to be efficient, and we want to protect, to stimulate, to grow jobs, and to create new jobs. We want to end the 2-tier health and education systems and to build proper public services to protect our people in a way which they're entitled to protection. This is not just a Sinn Féin position, other states have done it. Right? Access, Mull and Oga, August Chucky Sheep. Access to education by our people, particularly our young people. Access to wraparound health from the cradle to the grave in terms of that very essential public service. Not only is it the right political position, not only is it the Republican and Democratic position, it also makes good economic sense. You're storing up trouble. These budgets are storing up trouble. We want to be fair, we want to be respectful of citizens' rights and of the need for people to feel cherished. We believe that our natural resources, that's our wind, our energy, our waves, our seas, but particularly our oil and gas reserves, we want those to be exploited in the common good. We're a United Ireland party. The peace process needs continuously nurtured. It needs to be protected. It needs support. The Good Friday Agreement needs to be developed and implemented. The outreach to the Unionists needs to be intensified and built upon, and an Irish government needs to be continuously and constantly vigilant and alert to the manoeuvrings of the London government. Let's not take our eye off that ball at any time. Sinn Féin is the only party in this election which clearly spells out where we stand on the IMF-EU dig-out. We're the only party which has spelled out our position very, very clearly on cuts and on the cosy consensus which either introduced the cuts or which facilitated their introduction in that disastrous budget. And what have we promised the people of this state? Another budget like that, again and again and again. We would reserve budget cuts specifically to public services, to social welfare and to people on the minimum wage. And we would abolish the universal social charge. We're transparent, we're clear, we're down in line on all of those issues. So I'm appealing, I'm appealing to Irish voters to stand together. Not to be, told that you can't expect this or you can't expect that. We all have to take the pain. Most of us who are telling us that we have to take the pain will feel no pain whatsoever. They've either retired with big, big pensions, or when they come to the end of their political careers, they will retire unless we can have our way with big, big pensions. So we believe, and you see, it has to be about a matter of conviction. It has to be about belief. Political choice is based upon a belief. So we believe that a fair, decent society can be built. We believe that equality can be developed. And as I said earlier, it's all a matter of political choices. We would take political choices based upon the outline that I have given here. And we're asking the voters also to make a political choice. And that political choice we're asking them is to vote for Sinn Féin. So let me wish all of our candidates well. It'll be just less than 3 weeks. We'll give it a lash. We'll run at them. We've been up and down and around and we know what it's like. And we will make a difference. That we can guarantee. Let's get the biggest mandate possible and let's start getting Ireland into the place where our people deserve to be. A republic which cherishes them, which is decent, which is fair, and which looks after all of our citizens, not just those in the upper echelons. Sinn Féin, August